Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. My name is Leigh, and today what we're going to take a look at is, hold on. Okay, what we're going to take a look at is we're going to do your weekly reading, and we're going to look at your person. The name of the reading, as you can see at the bottom, it says Beyond the Surface. So we're going to pull 4 cards and take a look at your person and see how they feel about you. Okay? All right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, hype the video. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right. So this is for Sagittarius Spirit. What's the oracle card for them? Okay, we have, okay. This fell out before when I was shuffling the deck. I got to start keeping the cards that fall out when I shuffle the deck off camera, because this spirit gave me this earlier and I put it back in the deck. And so now I realize that it was for you. That's why it fell out. So it says soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So you're about to step into a connection, of course, with your soulmate. All right. Let me see what else they want to tell you about this. Sagittarius, please. Okay. We also have mirror showing up here. It says relationships, dynamics, honesty. It says the mirror shows your relationship dynamics. Be honest with your role. So this is about you preparing for this new person to step into your life, Sagittarius. So what Spirit is telling you with the mirror card is this is the man in the mirror. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. That's what I hear Michael Jackson singing in my head. So Spirit is wanting you to look back at your old connections, because we talk about this all the time, right? And not just look at what went on with the other person, but you got to look at how Sagittarius contributed to those things as well. Okay, this everybody is talking to me too, because I'm Sagittarius. So I'm saying all of this to say that, you know, you have to know where you went wrong, where you made mistakes. A lot of it is you have to ask yourself, okay, I went into this connection with this old person, like the last one you were in a relationship with. Let's talk about that. You got into this connection with this person. When they started breakdancing, you know, that's what I call it. You know, when they started breakdancing, they started doing all this stupid shit, cheating on you, bringing you into third party, lying to you, backstabbing you, doing all these different things of betrayal. You got to ask yourself, Sagittarius, why didn't I leave? What was it about myself that had me in that energy to where I didn't want to leave, where I was, what is the word? I was lying to myself about the way this person was showing up. Like, what about this person made me make the excuses that I made for them and prolonged me being in a relationship that I knew was unhealthy? These are the things you got to ask yourself, the tough questions, because I keep telling you, everybody want to say it's always them, them. And I used to do that too. But like I told you, when you got that finger pointing out, you got all these other 3 that are pointing at you. And so you got to look at it and look at, you know, the role that you played in the connection, because if you don't stand there and allow it to happen, people are not going to be able to do certain things to you. Okay, that's what Spirit is trying to tell you. And so you don't want to repeat what happened in the past. So you got to examine, you got to go back to the past and examine what has happened, so you don't bring it into the next connection you get into. Okay, all right, let's move on. We are going to pull 4 cards that are going to talk about your person, how your person sees you, and then we're going to discuss them, okay, one by one. So just give me one moment. This is for Sagittarius Spirit. Beyond the surface with their person. Okay. Card 1. Okay. Card 2. Card 3. And then card 4. Okay. You got a lot more than 4 cards. Okay. Overall energy is the strength card. This is Leo energy. This is talking about self-belief, right? It can also speak of you building up your courage and inner strength to be able to enter into this new connection with your person, right? With your soulmate. But it's also talking about you believing in yourself and knowing that even though you went through all of that past trauma, you went through all that crazy shit with the motherfuckers that you dealt with in the past, you still, this is you still believing, okay, I'm still going to give this a chance. I'm still going to believe in myself and know that my intentions are pure. Okay, Spirit is telling me that this new person that's stepping into my life, their intentions are pure. Let's work together and see what we can build together in terms of a relationship. Okay. All right. Underneath this is the Four of Pentacles. This can talk about, you blocking yourself off emotionally by covering up your heart. Okay. Because with the traditional Rider-Waite, the traditional Four of Pentacles, there's someone with a pentacle above their head, there's one in front of their heart, and then they have one under each foot, right? This can talk about the old person, talking about them being possessive of you, because I'm thinking about those two pentacles, the one under each foot. It can also speak of, like I said, you guarding your heart, and I feel like that's what Spirit is telling you, is that part of you having courage, right, to step into this new relationship. It's you needing to realize how you are self-sabotaging by holding that pentacle or covering up your heart and stopping people from coming in, okay? So you need balance with, this is your energy, right? Temperance. Spirit is telling you, you got to learn how to take those lemons, which are the things that, we don't want to happen in our lives that do happen, the lessons that we had to learn, and you make lemonade out of them. And so by you taking those lessons and ditching the rest of the baggage, you're making that lemonade and being able to move on with your life. Okay, this is also talking about your soulmate coming in and this connection being very balancing and very healing as well. Okay, with the Four of Swords, that Spirit telling you there still needs to be healing that's done. There also needs to be self-care, because I'm looking at the teddy bear sitting on the bed and they have a cup of tea. Okay, all right. With the Three of Swords, the time is going to come where you're going to have to choose between the new and the old. And I told you, you can see the light here. There's no light on this old person, but the new person is in the spotlight. So I feel like this is you in the middle, Sagittarius, and you've already made your choice, right? And this person is jealous, the one that's in the darkness, because they don't have that light anymore. They don't have the sun, right? The sun, your attention, right? Your love, all of the beautiful things that you brought into the connection with this person. They don't have that anymore, and it's driving them nuts. Okay. All right, here we go. You are guarding your energy, or if you're not, Spirit is telling you to guard your energy, guard your peace of mind, guard your, the harmony, whatever you've cultivated in your life that's good for you. Guard yourself, because this person is trying to drain you. Okay. You need to be listening to your intuition with the High Priestess. Okay. All right, let's clarify. Straight card, please. All right, so you hear that song? Here comes the sun. Da, 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 da. That's what I hear. So, see, a lot of you are afraid to love, is what Spirit is saying. It says it's natural to guard your heart, but remember, every leap of faith is a chance for a beautiful landing. You have to take the chance, right? You'll never know what you're capable of or what type of relationship you could have with somebody. All it's ever going to be, Sagittarius, is a bunch of dreams if you don't take the step, right? Because like I said, everybody's scared. Everybody's afraid. You don't think this new person is afraid? Because I told you they've been through a lot of bullshit just like you have. And so even when you heal yourself, you're going to be nervous. There's going to be trepidation. But what you got to understand is you have to open yourself up. If you heal yourself enough, it will just be nervousness and not anxiety, and not a thing where you go into it trying to self-sabotage. Okay. All right. Then we have the audacity. This is this old motherfucker, right? Wanting the old thing back. It says the boundaries were crossed, and the worst part, they acted like it was their right. So this is Spirit talking about what we just talked about, you being in a connection with the person, them playing in your face. And for a lot of us, we just, assume that, oh, maybe they were having a down day, or oh, they didn't mean that, making all these excuses and shit. And I told you, you got to ask yourself, why in the hell was I doing that? And you might feel ashamed, you might feel like a fool, but Spirit is telling you don't do that, because you're living life and you're bound to make mistakes. And when you love someone, sometimes you don't look at them for who they truly are. You don't truly look at how they're operating, how they're moving, and how they're acting. But now you're waking up, right? You're going through this ascension, and you realize that you have to go back and look at these things, right? And it's not to criticize yourself or to beat yourself down. It's so that you can be vigilant in the next relationship and not allow the same thing to play out the way that it did. Okay. All right. Then we have shared healing here. It says Together, you're breaking generational patterns and becoming the example you never had growing up. So you and your person are going to be breaking a lot of generational curses together. Look at the tree, how it's intertwined. I feel like it's you on one side, your person on the other, and the both of you are coming together. And as the longer you're together, I hear, I'm still standing better than I ever did. That's what I hear. And I see that card. They're showing me the card from that deck of the two men holding each other or whatever. And I feel like that's what's going to happen. That the longer the two of you are together, this relationship is going to continue to grow. And the trees, see how the trees look like they're twisting up together and growing together. That's what's going to happen between the both of you. Okay. All right. Okay, this first card here was two cards that fell. It says first glance. It says this card shows their first impression of you, the feeling they get right when they see you. So we got two cards. So we've got Seven of Cups and we have the Empress. The Empress is Taurus Libra energy. So hold on one second. Okay, so I just wanted to check and make sure that this stuff is working properly. Okay, so we got the Empress, which is Taurus Libra energy, and the Seven of Cups. So this is, like I said, this is talking about the person, how they see you at first glance, okay? This person realizes, I feel like, that you're a warrior. You're showing up as the Empress, which is Taurus Libra energy, like I said, and it can be Aries energy, it can be the Emperor, guys, so make it fit. And then with the Seven of Cups, the fact that you have a lot of options. You're seen as having a lot of options, even though for you, this could be showing up as you made a lot of bad choices, right? Because I keep telling y'all, just because you have a lot of people playing in your face, it don't mean that everybody has the same intentions or that they have positive intentions, is what I feel like Spirit is trying to tell you, okay? So your person sees you in a very positive light, right? They see you as a divine masculine or a divine feminine, and they see that you have a lot of options, okay? All right, let's clarify. Okay, so this new person coming in, your soulmate, is going to want to be your best friend. It says you could spend hours doing nothing together and still call it the best date. Just being together is more than enough, okay? And then we also have marriage vows. So you're going to go from being best friends to being together in matrimony, if that's what you choose to do, okay? It says forever isn't a fantasy here. It's a shared choice. Marriage is either present, predicted, or deeply desired, okay? And while all of this is going on, I hear secret lovers. Yeah, that's what we are. That's what I hear. A lot of this is going to be under the cover of darkness, is what Spirit is telling me, because you got third wheels, okay, which can be your Dusty and Crusty or your person, your soulmate's Dusty or Crusty, trying to get in the way, trying to break the two of you apart, okay? So it says a side character is trying to write themselves into the main plot. This story already has a leading duo. So they can try all they want to, but I told you what I heard, right? I'm still standing better than I ever did, meaning no matter what these people try to do to y'all, you're still gonna stand toe to toe. And hold on, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this back. I'm trying to put up a video. Okay, you're still going to stand toe to toe and, you know, be there for each other. And the connection is just going to get strengthened. So everything they're doing, I feel like, Sagittarius, they're trying to do against you is only going to help to solidify your connection with this person. Okay. All right. The second card talks about what connects you. It says this is what makes them feel they can relate to you. It's something about you that feels familiar or just clicks with them. Okay. So we got the Ace of Cups here. So this is a rekindled romance. And I'm not saying that this is somebody from your past in this lifetime. You and this person come into each and every lifetime, I feel like, and you rekindle your relationship from past lifetimes. That's why I'm saying that. So that's why you feel familiar to this person and why they're going to feel familiar to you, okay? This person also puts you on a pedestal, okay? And they're doing what they need to do to rise up to reach your level so that they can get to you, so they can get this cup of love from you and give you theirs, okay? All right, let's clarify. Okay, so you and this person have gone through a lot of love lessons. Okay, I just talked about that earlier, right? About you realizing that the things you went through were nothing but love lessons, and taking those lessons with you and leaving all the other bullshit behind, right? Then we got the living large card. Well, you're gonna be loving large too. Living large card here, right? And so Spirit is telling you luxury is the new baseline. They're not just dabbling in wealth, they're dwelling in it. So your new person has money, you're going to end up with money. And when the two of you come together, I tell y'all this all the time, you are each other's good luck charms. So you're going to both end up together with a lot of money, okay? Then we've got lost identity here, right? So it says you were never meant to trade your voice, your passions, or your power just to keep someone by your side. So both you and this new person lost yourselves, okay, identity wise, in older connections. And so I feel like both of you are learning from that, and you realize that you need to keep yourself intact first and foremost before you go into this connection with each other. And you need to always make sure you're tending to your own needs, okay, and not putting more pressure on the connection by looking for the other person to take care of you when you can take care of yourself. I'm not saying this person's never going to be there for you or that you can't lean on them, because I hear lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. That's what they're saying. But you have to take care of yourself and your needs first and foremost. That's what I'm telling you. So that when the time comes, when you can't do that or you need extra support, so on and so forth, this person is going to be able to be there for you, because they have to take care of themselves and their own needs as well. Okay? All right. So the next card we're going to take a look at is card number 3. It says, what do they find intriguing? It says, here's where they find you intriguing. It could be the way you hold back a little, or that they sense you have a deeper story. We have the devil here, Capricorn energy. So this person feels like, they got a lot of passion for you, and they, I think they can tell that there's going to be a lot of heat and a lot of passion from you as well. Okay. And I feel like that's intriguing for them, because I feel like the level of passion that the both of you feel for each other, you've never felt that level with anybody else before. Okay. All right. Let's clarify. See, you and this person are a spiritual match, okay? Spirit is saying your energy fields are in tune, calling each other home. Together, you amplify each other's life, okay? Each other's light and life. So it was supposed to, okay? So with the devil card, we've got you and this person being a spiritual match, right? But first and foremost, this is about you loving yourself. Even though you found your spiritual match, you got to have that love for yourself first and foremost. It says loving yourself is the ultimate romance. Invest in you, grow, glow, and get to know how great you really are. I was just talking about that, right? That this always needs to be your base, your foundation is, cultivating that relationship with yourself and continuously keeping it going, because that's what's going to build on the fact that you and this person are a spiritual match. And then we have expecting here. So this person, they either gonna put this baby in you for some of y'all, or expect you to do it to them. Okay, this is for those of you that are of childbearing age. If you're not, then that's not your message. I told you this could be a business thing y'all do together, and the birth could be you birthing a business or birthing whatever your mission is that you came here together to do. So it says a new life is forming. Ready or not, this changes the vibe, the stakes, and the whole storyline. So regardless of what this is, this swollen belly is for both of you, this is Spirit telling you that the two of you coming together, you're going to change each other's lives for the better. Okay. All right. The last two cards we're going to take a look at talk about your person's hopes for the future. So it says this card looks at what they're hoping for with you, from a close friendship to something more serious. So we got two cards that fell here. We have the Hangman, Pisces energy, and we also have the Magician. Okay. So Spirit is telling you that what your person is hoping for is, they know that both of you are manifesting each other. They want to manifest beautiful things with you, a beautiful life with you, because Spirit is telling both of you, you have all the skills, tools, and abilities that are required in order to do that. And then they're also wanting you to not be afraid to walk away from things that no longer serve you. And also with the Hangman, be able to look at things from a different perspective, because that's what's going to help you not only to walk away from certain things, but for you to move forward in this new connection with this new person. Okay? All right, let's clarify. See? Requited love, baby. I love this. It says, you don't have to wonder. You don't have to prove your worth. You are loved just as much as you love. Because I feel like that's been the problem. This card, Spirit? Hold on. I feel like that's been the problem for a lot of you, right? Is that you've been loving and giving and doing blindly and not realizing until it's too late, or to you in too deep, or some, you know, catastrophic bullshit happens that you in something with somebody who's not given to you like you are, right? Like you're given to them. And so you and this person, like I said, you're going to see each other. You're going to love on each other the same. And I think that's such a beautiful thing, okay? When it comes to this other person, you know, they got court issues, okay? So for some of you, you may have to take this person to court and get a restraining order, because this motherfucker not going to let y'all go. Not on either side. Either one of them is going to want to do that. And so they're going to be still throwing shade. Okay, it says shade doesn't always look like aggression. It hides in backhanded praise, tone, and just joking energy. Everybody knows somebody like this that like to talk shit, and then they be like, "Oh, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean it. This and this and that." They say all this crap, right? So this person is gonna be talking yang against y'all because you don't want to deal with them anymore, right? You see them for who they are, and they know no matter what, they'll never be able to pull the wool over your eyes again like they did in the beginning, okay? And then we got love is love showing up here. Here he goes. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. That's right here. So it says, love transcends labels, gender, and expectations. Let your heart feel without fear or apology. So that's what you and your person are stepping into, this connection. Requited love, and you're going to realize this person, I feel like, is going to make you feel safe. You're going to make them feel safe, because they're showing me the emotional safety card from this deck, right? And so you're both going to make each other feel safe, and that's what's going to make you open up and be authentically yourselves with each other, because I told you that is the recipe for success, is you being able to be who you truly are, Sagittarius, and allowing this person to do the same thing, okay? All right, let's get these other cards here. See what Spirit wants to tell you. It's for Sagittarius, Spirit. Okay, so we have the first card. Oh, Sagittarius. It says self-neglect, all right? It says you are neglecting your own needs in relationships. Practice self-care. That's why this loving yourself card showed up, because I told you this has to be the base. Because if you don't have this as a base, you can't be in a relationship with anybody. Okay? You have to form a relationship with yourself. You have to prioritize yourself and prioritize self-love. That's what Spirit is telling you, and then you won't be in this energy of self-neglect. That's what Spirit is trying to tell you. Okay? And then look, I just talked about being authentically you, and we got not being you showing up here. It says you are trying to project a perfect image, but it's not really you. Be yourself. You got to be who you are, flaws and all. You got to be able to be comfortable around this person and be able to relax. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be authentically yourself. Because everybody, think about that other dude or the other chick or whoever you was with wearing these masks and things, right? They do all this shit, you know, and imagine that you lying. You gotta have lies for the lies. You gotta try to remember all the fucking stories you telling, all these kinds of things. You can't. It's physically impossible for you to be able to keep that shit rolling, keep that ball rolling like that. And so this is supposed to be a relationship where you and this person can relax, but you're gonna have to let your guard down. You have to let your walls down, and you're gonna have to be who you truly are, Sagittarius. I told you, with the weirdness and all, because I told you everybody in this collective is weird. We're not supposed to be like everybody else, because we came here to make changes, to change the world, to bring light to the world, to do all these things, whatever our missions are. And so you can't be like everybody else and come here and do that, okay? All right, let's get a message from your person. See what they want to say. It's for Sagittarius, Spirit. Okay. Okay, we have, I am so proud of everything you do. So this is gonna be somebody, when you shine bright like a diamond, they gonna be grinning like, yo, that's my Sagittarius. That's my Sagittarius doing that. Instead of somebody trying to pull you down or compete with you, this person is gonna be patting you on the back and being your biggest cheerleader. Okay. Then we've got, you make me feel like a kid again. I tell you this, your inner child and your person's inner child, y'all are gonna come out and play with each other. Okay. All right, let's get this oracle card so we can close it out. Okay. Okay, Sagittarius, hold on. Okay, again, we got self-love. We have loving yourself and self-love. Look, is loving yourself is self-love. So it says, as you love who you are, you become more confident in your relationships and with yourself. That this adds to your confidence. You want to do everything you can in your power to increase your confidence, because that's what's gonna enable you to step into the connection and be like, yeah, this is me, and you know, in all my glory, and I'm here, and we're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna exude confidence. You're gonna have a different personality. You're going to step into this like with a smile on your face and be ready to do, okay? Get your mind out the gutter, Sagittarius. Then we got very soon, okay? It says, be clear about what you want, because within the blink of an eye, it will be yours. So your soulmate is coming, Sagittarius, so hang on in there, all right? All right, Sagittarius, that was your message. Don't forget to like the video, hype the video, like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. Please have a good day, good rest of your week, good weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Love you, Sagittarius. Bye.